Now, most people who are looking to get into the hybrid training world are really overcomplicating it. I mean, I get it. My Instagram and probably a lot of views are filled with a lot of unbelievable hybrid athletes training twice a day, and they've got a sick rig to match it as well. And it can be hard to think that this is the standard that everyone has to be at. But the actual truth is, especially when you're starting, is you don't need to be training twice a day or bury yourself in the ground with an unrealistic amount of volume, especially when you're starting out. And actually, this is the worst thing that you can do. Now, what will actually work, especially if you are new to hybrid training, is something that I like to call the minimum dosage effect. Now, all this theory relies on is you building your base at the start as slowly as you possibly can, then refining each piece of it as you climb up the pyramid. So slowly building aerobic capacity over time, slowly progressively overloading your lifts in the gym, or how many reps you can do over time, or how short your rest periods can be. Then as you get stronger and your capacity builds, you can start to add in your volume and your intensity and start to train twice a day. And you can do it without the wheels completely falling off because your stimulus is too high. Then when you hit a plateau, because inevitably you will, just rinse and repeat. So the question then is why do so many people get it wrong when they enter this world of hybrid training? What I found is people want to do everything in one go. They want to run, they want to lift, they want to do AMRAPs and Metcons and train twice a day and sign up for a race. They basically want to go all in, and I absolutely get it. It's completely understandable. I mean, it's like a kid with a new toy, isn't it? They're trying to figure out what this thing can do. But the problem is, between you and that toy, is you can't whack a new set of batteries at the end of every day and just reset and go again tomorrow, because you've got a very small base and a very small engine at the start, and you haven't got the skill to build on this base because you haven't got any skin in the game yet. And of course, we know you have to give your body enough stimulus for it to grow and adapt and change. But now more than ever, you need to give your body enough time and what it needs to actually recover and adapt to this change. So what inevitably happens is people stick at this for 1 week or 2 weeks. They end up sore, they end up skipping sessions, they end up not being able to recover. And then they get frustrated that they can't see any results and revert back to whatever training they were doing before. And this is where 90% of people fall off. People new to this game mistake volume for progress. So they think if I just continue to do more volume or keep my sessions getting more and more intense, I'll eventually see progress. But people forget, like anything else, that the adaptation comes during recovery and by slowly, progressively overloading. Now here's where the minimum dosage effect comes in. Now all this term means is a simple way of saying, what's the smallest amount of training stimulus that you can give your body and still make adaptations? i.e., what's the smallest amount of time I could train with the least intensity where I can still recover and make progress, which is the opposite to what a lot of people are doing, is seeing how much they can tolerate at the start instead of seeing how much they can not do at the start. Now what that might look like is you only doing 3 to 4 sessions a week, or having 3 to 4 hours of training per week, and splitting them up into 2 strength sessions where you do your compound lifts. So your squats, your deadlifts and your presses. And then you have your 1 to 2 conditioning sessions, which may include something like a zone 2 run or even some of your harder intensity runs. And that's it. You don't need to be having multiple 90-minute sessions a week, or having double sessions every single day, or working through 5 different training zones because you think that's what every hybrid athlete does every single day. Believe me, your joints and your CNS hasn't got that in it to do that. And inside the hybrid formula, this is exactly where we start. We build the capacity first. We establish a rhythm in your training that you can maintain and build on. Then once you've built that foundation, we start to add more layers. So now you know this, you're probably asking, well then, if I'm past this, how do I scale this over time? So once your recovery catches up with you and you've actually hit a plateau in your performance, then you've now earned the right to do a little bit more. You can start ramping it up a little bit. You can start to add in your intensity, so slightly longer hard runs, or slightly more weight in terms of your lifts. And then you can start to add in your volume as well. So how many total sets you do a week, how many times a week you train, how many hours a week you train. You're still looking to do the minimum amount of work possible where you can still make progress. And that might only mean adding 2.5 to 5k to your lifts every 1 to 2 weeks, or running an extra kilometre in your runs, or cutting your rest by an additional 10 or 20 seconds. Taking these small but very intentional steps is how you're going to create that compounding effect and build your base to call yourself a hybrid athlete. That's when you'll start noticing you're getting leaner without dieting much, or you're running a bit faster without losing your muscle, or lifting heavier without breaking down. And then you, my friend, have hit that official sweet spot. And that's when that hybrid engine is starting to work as it should. So the big picture here I want you to try and see is you have to be patient. And I know this is a word that's not that sexy, because we all want results from the moment our foot steps through the door, especially if you're competitive. But any athlete that builds any real lasting results in their performance all started with patience. They became absolutely world class at the basics. Nothing was fast at the start or nothing was overly flashy. But over time, slowly stacking up these small wins is how they got to the level that you now admire. Because let's be real, hybrid training is a very long game to play. So don't take yourself out of it because you bit a bit too much than you can chew at the start. You'll actually be surprised where you'll be a year from now. Now, if what I've just spoken about just then resonated with you, drop a comment below and tell me what your current training split looks like. Especially if you're not in hybrid training, what are you doing to kind of enter in this world? Now, I personally read through all the comments and I'll go through them and I'll see if there's any tips that I can give you, especially if you're new to it. And for those who are ready to train like a hybrid athlete now, then check out the link in the description. It'll take you over to my Instagram page where you can get a little bit more information into former coaching.